Hello and welcome to Off the Beaten Tracks. We here at OTBT are starting the week off with a collection of Where's My Bong songs from the late 60s, early 70s. So put on your Nehru jacket and grab yourself a chair. Please subscribe and throw down a music-loving like. And you can support this channel on Patreon or listen to even more videos for free on the Off the Beaten Tracks Facebook page. Links are below. And now,
Jimmy Joe, the Hippybilly Boy. Well, it's hard to say what it was that started him down the long, piney trail to freakhood. Maybe it was when his cousin Kathleen got run over by a bulldozer, or maybe it was the 6 o'clock news, I don't know. But all of a sudden he let his hair grow long, Lord long, and he wore love beads around his neck, and he started making weird things down in shop class. Lord, Jimmy Joe, the Hippybilly Boy. His teachers didn't mind so much the love beads or when he wore body paint to the prom, but buddy, when he came to the county track meet and wore nothing but a purple petrified taper snout for an athletic supporter, boy, he got snuffed out of school. He didn't mind. Most of the time he stayed out in the woods and wrote poetry. Last summer he harvested 17 bales of hemp alongside the railroad tracks, and he stopped going to Christian Youth Fellowship. And he even tried to get my daughter Carol Ann to go out in the woods to meditate with him. Lord, Jimmy Joe, the Hippybilly Boy. Well, he saw something he called a vision of the Grail on a muskrat run near his home here in Kabul. And believe in magic, there's a joke all over town about how they ought to put up a chain link fence around the graveyard. Folks didn't know what they were saying. He wore an Osage Indian headband, and he wouldn't go out for football, even though he'd been a star left halfback in the Tri-State Junior High School Midget Football League. People'd say, Jimmy Joe, why don't you just go on off to San Francisco? And Jimmy'd smile and he'd say, well, I love the Ozarks, and I love the limestone caves and the ridges and the purple mists, and I love the vales and vales of fennel. Lord, Jimmy Joe, the Hippybilly Boy. Well, he was out by the Big Blue River on Saturday night late, meditating and writing poetry, and he saw far below a pair of car lights on the highway. Then they went wobbly, and he heard a crash, and he saw the car go over the side of the Big Blue River. And Jimmy ran down to the riverbank, but all he could see was gurgles and bubbles rising where the car had gone under the water. So he ripped off his clothes, and he stood there naked in the moonlight with his Osage headband glistening. And he did a forward 1.5 somersault with a half twist and went down into the cold, murky murk of the Big Blue River. And he had to go real deep, but somehow he found the car, and he got the car door open, and he pulled out the people inside, old Nadine Hefner and Danny Whistler. And he got him up on the riverbank, and then he began to worry that maybe there was somebody else down in the car trapped. So he went back down into the abysmal, dismal depths of the Big Blue River, and he never came up. 15 minutes later, the state police went down to get him, and they found Jimmy Joe with his long brown hair wrapped around the rearview mirror. Oh, the whole town came out to Jimmy's funeral, and Reverend Allen read some of Jimmy's poetry. And Lord, they weep just as loud for a Hippybilly Boy as they weep for anybody else. And as they carried the plain brown bronze casket from the graveyard, the country choir sang the lordly hymn.
What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a friend we have in Jesus, we often forfeit everything to God in prayer. What a friend we have in Jesus. Everything to God in prayer.
Lord, 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 Jimmy Joe Ho, the Hippybilly Boy. I was sitting in Jimmy's warm truck stop, playing the pinball machine, when you reached and took from your wallet your folder of Polaroid shots. You said, "Hey Billy, come look, she's the prettiest peach in the pale." When I looked at your Polaroid spread shot, Lord, Lord, it was my wife. Polaroid spread shot, Polaroid spread shot. Oh, the trees weep in the bending wind. I was crying in Jimmy's warm truck stop. I couldn't hold the teardrops splashing down when I saw my beautiful Betty sitting naked in your hand. Then I reached into my wallet and I pulled out my own private stock of Polaroid spread shots by the hundreds, and I flipped one into your hand. It was your wife that I showed you naked at the Maple Court Lodge. Oh, ain't life funny? Polaroid spread shot, Polaroid spread shot. Oh, the trees weep in the bending wind. One more visit to the crash pad. One more visit to the crash pad. He cut off his hair and put on a suit and tie. He cuts off his hair and put on a suit and tie, and he married a Betty Sue, the girl who lived next door. He left the office to walk home to his wife, and he thought he'd stop for one more visit to the good old crash pad, where once he so gaily lived, and see once more the day glow painted walls, and step once more across the sea of mattresses, and sit once more around the hookah pipe. Nothing escapes the eagle's eye. Oh, soon the wires were buzzing and a burning all over town. wife, she came to the crash pad door to claim her dear from Satan's lair. And he came to the door, his eyes glazed, his chest smeared with body paint. And he said, "Darling, well, I'm never going back to Honkville. Well, I'm never going back to Honkville. Yes, darling, I know you're pregnant and all, and the Corvette payments due, but I think I'm gonna stay here in the cosmos of lights and laughter and skug, oh skug. Well, I'm never going back to Honkville. Well, I'm never going back to Honkville. One more visit to the crash pad. One more visit to the crash pad. Banshee, just a pretty little Banshee. Of all of Satan's lovers, the Banshee was his bride. They met together in a purple coven in a croft up on the hill. They were dancing in a drooling whirl, the devil and the Banshee girl. Banshee, just a pretty little Banshee. Of all of Satan's lovers, the Banshee was his bride. Together they sat on the rainy seashore, praying for the dark witchery. She would kiss the devil's pink hoof and he'd hunch her with his horn. Banshee, just a pretty little Banshee. Of all of Satan's lovers, the Banshee was his bride. Well, I can't think of no pretty phrases when my head is nodding with pain. Sometimes when I feel all alone, I think of you to keep me from going insane. Sometimes when I feel so blue, I just wanna go to heaven to be with you. Oh, 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 oh. This is a song made famous in 1964 by Red Dwarkus and the Opal City Poker Chips. It's called the Plaster Song. P-L-A-S-T-E-R. My family life was broken up by plaster casting girl. It was 12:15 a.m. The concert stage was bare. My country band was packing up to fly to Tupelo when I copped a scan on a pretty little girl standing at the corner of the stage, uttering a low and guttural purring sound from red lips wet with anticipatory drool. She looked so innocent, demure and sweet in her high school cheerleader sweater and sandals on her feet. She held up her lined satchel that held her casting kit. Boy, L-A-S-T-E-R. My family life was broken up by a plaster casting girl. When I got home, I settled down to have a beer or two. And in the other room, my wife was hanging up my gold thread pearl studded country star singing suits. And all of a sudden, I heard this awful yell, Red Dwarkus, star of stage and screen. How did this plaster get on your fly? Okay, creep. How did this plaster get on your fly? What will they say at the American Legion Hall? What will they say at the Rebecca Lodge? What will they say at the skeet shoot Sunday morn about a pitiful pound of plaster sitting in my trophy room? Play L-A-S-T-E-R. My family life was broken up by a plaster casting girl. Mainin a Edethia Pilea Joaculeus. Ulamanane hey Muria Kiois Algaya thinking, buddy. Ah, tough, get tall, get suave, get drunk, get smart, get hip, get pissed. Johnny, piss off. Oh, Johnny, why did you beat up that queer? Johnny, why did you beat up that queer? Well, I went into the trance I usually fall into when I watch the Budweiser clock spin around for about 2 hours. I was drinking Dickel Brothers Sour Mash, buddy, when all of a sudden my brain became sullied by images of vampires. So I thought I'd better get my old Corvette and wheel around the county courthouse a few times to clear my mind. Then I thought I'd go over to May's Cafe for some coffee and lemon pie. Well, I peeled down the strasse, and all of a sudden I scarfed an eye load on a queer. I mean, I think he looked like a queer. God, I hate queers. God, I hate him. He had on penny loafers and purple bell bottoms. And he had a huge protest button on that said, God is acid. Boy, that pissed me off. Well, anyway, so I screeched a halt and I yelled out the window and I said, hey, faggot, what you doing in my town, Betty? That son of a bitch was ignoring my existence. Boy, I hate that. So I leaped out my old Corvette and I trotted over and I proceeded to kick ass on the goddamn son of a bitch in Morphodite. Then I walked on his face, and shit is more fun than squashing tadpole. Then I went over to Mace Cafe for some coffee. Get tough, get tall, get suave, get drunk, get smart, get hip, get pissed. Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, the Johnny Piss Off Credo. I, Jonathan Abner Tobias Piss Off, in the presence of the universal God of salvation, do solemnly affirm that I've been chosen to beat up queers. I further affirm that although I'm a decent, God-fearing man with family and property, I want to kill, rape, ravish, plunder, pillage, stomp, devour, destroy, hack, smash, splash, splish, and bash. All queers, commies, sheenies, hallies, and hunkies. All greaseballs, mockies, poleaxes, lepers, and litvaks. All bohunks, eggheads, fudge, sickles, and high slants. All poets, migs, frogs, queers, peace creeps, Cajuns, dwarfs, dipshits, and teenage loose women. In the name of Jesus Christ, this I do affirm. Oh, Johnny, why did you beat up that queer? He didn't cry or nothing. Johnny, why did you beat up that queer? Nobody saw me do it. Why did you beat up that queer? Well, he was walking up to the Legion Hall where the Boy Scouts meet. I don't like to see that. Why did you beat up that queer, Johnny? Well, I mean, he had smooth hands. I mean, he tried to wink at me. I don't know. He had on I don't know. Why did you beat up that queer? We will meet on Breadtray Mountain, darling, when the sun is down. I feel the whirling of flower buds falling, but not my love for you. There'll be a fane in the drifting mists, darling, when our life is done. I hear the bleak black crickets dying, but not my love for you. When our hands get veiny with the itch, and under the oxygen tent I see the gray hawk drooling the manacles of misery. Bear us to the grave, but death will free us from this jail. We will meet on Breadtray Mountain, darling, when the sun is slipping down. I feel the whirling of flower buds falling, but not my love for you. Are you a vampire, Melvin Laird? Are you a vampire? Are you caught in the Transylvanian transvestite time trap, Melvin Laird? Honk honk with the geese of Canada quack, quack, or the ducks of derision late at night. When the moon is full, do you creep from the crypt and flit from throat to throat, Melvin Laird? 'Cause I saw you grinning with a drool dripping on the TV screen, testifying with your vacant voice for the ABM Machine. I could swear I saw two fangs touching the microphone. So I'm carrying my wafer, I'm carrying my cross, just in case I find you breathing down my neck. In the silent halls of Congress, Melvin Laird. Are you a vampire, Melvin Laird? Are you a vampire? Are you caught in the Transylvanian transvestite time trap, Melvin Laird? Are you caught in the Transylvanian transvestite time trap, Melvin Laird? Honk, honk, go the geese of Canada, quack, quack, go the ducks of derision. You may want to set the world aflame, you may want to worship death. So why don't you go and shatter mirrors in some other universe and take along your pushy, violent, death's head missile friends and leave the earthlings be. So long, Melvin Laird, I'll see you later. 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 They're cutting my coffin at the Sawmill, where the waters ripple o'er the dam, and the daylight is crowding the starlights, and I'm singing my last song for you. So don't you know I'm not afraid of the howling storm. I don't know what other lands I'll see. I don't know what mode of thought I'll feel. I only hope that I will get to wait for you. They're cutting my coffin at the Sawmill, where the waters ripple o'er the dam, and the daylight is crowding the starlight, and I'm singing my last song for you. So don't you know I'm not afraid of the howling storm, and the boat of sunlight sliding down the quay, and my eyes are in that long and chilly fighting. I only hope that I will someday be with you. They're cutting my coffin at the Sawmill, where and I'm singing my last song for you. So don't you know I'm not afraid of the howling storm. Homesick blues. Homesick blues. He was in the Allenwood pen serving 1 to 5. When he got out, he rushed to see his darling nesting bride. Homesick blues. Homesick blues. He served 3 years in the Allenwood pen. He wouldn't go to war. He was just a Peace Creek poet driving home to see his bride. Homesick blues. Homesick blues. He found another poet's notebooks stacked up by the bed. He heard another man's phonograph on the record player. Another man's dinner on the table. Another man's vision in her heart. Remember this, peace creep, as you rot in jail. Remember this morsel from the idiom, little earthling punk. Don't expect anyone or anything to wait 1 second for you. The oatmeal wretches onward, spewing the spackled tool drool over the griseous gash bush. Homesick blues. Homesick blues. He was in the Allenwood pen serving 1 to 5. He might as well have stayed inside than drive home to his faithful bride. Than drive home to his faithful bride. The old country school is now a crash pad, and you're gone. Yes, you're gone. Yes, you're gone. And the valley is chopped up by Interstate 70, and the meadows are dotted with real estate schemes, and you're gone. Yes, you're gone. I know that the sun rising is a temporary thing, that the sun obtuse on clouds at 30,000 feet from the airline windows is an equal particle, that Ra is a shard, an ostracon from a forbidden cycle of the eons. Nor God nor pulsing phantom forever, but that I live at the mansion of earth for 80 years in the warmth, the children off to space, The chickens still crowing at sunup, but our hearts beat lugubrium, lugubrium, lugubrium at Ra's pink-fingered sinking. 42 billion years, then zap, then 42, zap, we are caught. The meat chain born of the prostate, or out of the flashes of the vulva, caught, ended, slashed. We are led by the calf to the thin arroyo, to be slaughtered in droves, driven into the eyes and slashings of the manglers. That little drama, no matter. 42 zap. We are now in the electromagnetic cycle. It lives, enormous breathings and compressions of it. Will the old country school is now a crash pad, and you're gone. Yes, you're gone. Yes, you're gone.